Not every animation studio knows how to stick the landing. Some give us a full circle moment that leaves us in tears, while others leave us nothing. Let's see what the absolute best and the what the actual F movie endings are from every animation studio. Let's start with Madagascar 3 from DreamWorks.
Oh, you want to run away with the circus?
Live a life of adventure?
Full of romance?
Danger. Really, live it! What do you say?
Now, if I told you that a movie featuring a zebra in a rainbow afro and a seal being shot out of a cannon had one of the most thematic full circle endings in animation history, would you believe me? Because this movie actually did it. I know the ending is somehow controversial nowadays, but think about it. The entire franchise started with Alex, Marty, Melman, and Gloria trying to get back to the Central Park Zoo. That was their North Star. But by the end of the third movie, they finally make it back and they realize the zoo is a cage.
No!
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock!
It shows that the wildlife simply wasn't fit for them, but neither was captivity, at least for Marty. So when they chose the circus over the zoo, it's actually a massive character arc complication. The core conflict in Madagascar 1 was between Marty's longing for freedom and adventure and Alex's longing for captivity, where he has his public and comfort. The circus is a perfect middle ground where Marty gets the freedom as they can travel to any country and Alex gets an audience and the comfort he had in captivity. It's a masterpiece ending because it challenges the very premise of the first movie and wins. I'll say it with my chest. Madagascar 3 is the gold standard for how to end a trilogy. But then, we get Shrek Forever After.
Victory is ours!
Where the did those ogres come from? And I know some of you in the comments are ready to defend this movie. It's better than Shrek 3. And sure, being better than Shrek 3 is like being the smartest person in a room full of rocks. Happily Ever After in this movie means casually kidnap someone, lock him up, kill his friend, and make him dance on it. Because while it was an alternative reality plot and Forever After was already a bit of a shortcut, the movie ends with the people of Far, Far Away celebrating at Shrek's place, while Rumpelstiltskin is locked in a cage. And then, right in front of his face, his only friend and pet goose, Fifi, literally explodes because of Fiona singing. And Shrek and the gang, they just laugh hard. And yes, I know he did a shit thing, but blowing up his friend right in front of him and then made him dance? That was absolutely insane, even for me. I mean, it was just a damn goose being a goose. And like, if it couldn't get worse, the movie ending left me with the biggest question. Where were the other ogres before? Moving on to The House of Mouse. Now, I know everyone usually talks about Beauty and the Beast or Lion King, but if you want the absolute best Disney ending, I mean, we have to talk about Lilo and Stitch.
A sentence that shall be henceforth served out here, on Earth. And as caretaker of the alien life form Stitch,
this ending is a masterpiece because it's not about a magical transformation or defeating a giant monster. It's about a broken little alien finding a broken little family and realizing they fit together perfectly. When Stitch stands before the Grand Councilwoman and says,
"Is my family. I found it all on my own. It's little and broken, but still good."
This is one of the most powerful moments in animation history. The way it contrasts with the first scene of the Grand Councilwoman asking him to prove he has goodness in him is perfection. It's one of those perfect full circle moments because Stitch was literally created to destroy, but he ends up building a home. Not perfect, but just right. The ending works because it doesn't fix their problems with magic. It just gives them each other. It's simple, it's sure, and it proves that Ohana isn't just a catchphrase. It's really the soul of the movie. The watercolors, the beach, everything just fits. If you ask me, this was not the perfect ending for only the series, but the franchise as a whole. The worst Disney movie ending? I know you're all thinking that I'm going to say something like Ralph Breaks the Internet. And indeed, it was a terrible movie. But the ending was pretty okay, I guess. The absolute disaster of the show is Pocahontas 2.
Come with me.
I would rather die tomorrow than live 100 years without knowing you. Oh, I got caught up in another movie. I always pretend the sequel never exists because if you ever want to see a movie completely nerf its own character, this is it. After everything Pocahontas and John Smith went through in the first movie, the war, the sacrifices, the iconic colors of the wind, the sequel decides to just pretend it never existed? The movie ends with Pocahontas ending up with John. But it's another John? John f***ing Rolfe? I'm still confused about this one. They were so deeply in love, and then she basically says she doesn't want to go with him. And the worst part? John Smith is just like, okay, good luck. And that's it? I don't want to hear anything about historical accuracy because the real Pocahontas married John Rolfe. You can't build a fictional romantic epic in the first movie and then suddenly decide to be a history textbook in the second. It's the worst kind of plot shortcut. And they probably grew apart as people after saving each other's asses and everything else in the first movie? At this point, I guess I need to be happy they didn't kill her at the end of the movie. Now, let's talk about Sony. Because for years, Sony Pictures Animation was the middle child. But then, they gave us Spider-Verse, and their game changed forever.
Anyone can wear the mask. You could wear the mask.
The ending of Into the Spider-Verse is the ultimate leap of faith payoff. It's not just a cool action scene. It's the moment Miles Morales finally stops trying to be Spider-Man and just becomes him. It's a masterpiece because it pays the emotional debt of the entire movie. I mean, we watched Miles struggle, fail, and get rejected, but when he finally shows up in that custom spray-painted suit, it's one of those chef's kiss moments that feels 100% earned. The ending is so perfect, especially for a genre that usually ends up with a typical superhero pose. Miles playing his intro song as he fades out.
'Cause I'm Spider-Man. And I'm not the only one. Not by a long shot.
And then only to see his crush reappear in the very, very end. It was the perfect setup for the sequel. But then at the same time, Sony also decided to give us the Emoji Movie. The ending to this movie is literally Romeo and Juliet, but for millennials. And look, I'm not a big fan of this movie. And no, not because the animation was terrible, but because it feels like one long advertisement from Sony about video games and technology packed into a children's movie.
Are we?
Welcome to the wallpaper.
Every scene is basically an advertisement for another product. And after an entire movie of Candy Crush and Just Dance levels, the big emotional resolution is a dance party? The girl likes the boy's emoji he sent her at the beginning and they just dance? Oh, and by the way, they dab. Because nothing says timeless classic like a character dabbing in 2017. And no, I'm not making this shit up. Finally, Pixar. The king of emotional endings. Choosing the best ending is like choosing between your favorite children, except both of these children are trying to make you cry in public. I literally couldn't choose, so I'm doing both, just because I can. Let's look at Toy Story 3 and Coco. In Toy Story 3, we get the ultimate passing of the torch when Andy gives his toys to Bonnie and plays with them one last time.
Thanks, guys.
The way they all just give in and be there for each other. The way Bonnie makes Woody wave goodbye to Andy and his reaction to it. It's like a warm last hug for a childhood of an entire generation. So long, partner. This was and is the perfect closure because it acknowledges that life moves on, but the love stays, especially if we pretend that 4 doesn't exist. I was around college age when Toy Story 3 came out, and I cried my eyes out. And no, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I was, and still am, in literal tears typing this out. And then there's Coco. If you didn't cry when Miguel sings to Mama Coco, you are a robot. That scene hits you like a truck out of nowhere. No previous warnings or time to prepare. It's one of those ugly cry moments. Coco's ending resolves the conflict of the entire family history through one single song. The idea of the song having like 3 different meanings during the course of the movie is incredible storytelling. There's the dad singing to his daughter, remembering him while he's gone on tour. There's the narcissistic meaning that is just a pompous love song to himself after it's been stolen. And then there's the theme of the movie, which is to remember your family and loved ones, even after they're gone, and how family bonds are stronger than death itself. The ending of Coco is just so perfect. Everyone, dead and alive, is there to enjoy this last moment. These 2 endings are tied for the best because they are simply masterpieces of storytelling, every single time. But then, when you think Pixar can't go wrong, we get Lightyear.
We can stop ourselves from ever landing on that planet.
From ever hitting that mountain.
We can just continue the mission home.
And none of this will have ever happened.
It's a good plan.
Now, how do you take one of the most iconic legends in animation and turn his origin story into a meh Space Ranger adventure even the real Buzz would be ashamed of? The problem with Lightyear's ending is that it tries to give Buzz a new team and a new purpose, but it feels like a different movie entirely. It doesn't connect with the Buzz Lightyear we know from the Toy Story movies. And I know that isn't always needed, but with such a loved and iconic character like Buzz, this ending just feels off.
Ranger Corps, we've been charged to protect the galaxy from the threat of invasion from any sworn enemies of the Galactic Alliance. Okay, everyone, make sure you're securely fastened. Do we have everything? Munitions?
Check.
There's nothing really to dislike about him in Lightyear because he actually doesn't have any character. And that's not a good thing. I'd like to think that this is the live-action remake of the original Buzz Lightyear movie that Andy saw. Now, grown-up Andy is cringing right alongside us. So what's the lesson here? The best endings are the ones that keep the promise the story made at the beginning. The ones that made us, the ones that let us feel.